You see me, baby? That's it, man. Because I am back. Yeah. Okay. That's done. And, oh, yeah, there you go. Awesome. Look at me. Look at me. I don't have that. I have one person, two half and half, one person, little man, then one big person, two little people, one person screen, two people screen, and then screen. I think you got to upgrade for that. So today we're going to be doing a co-op stream with another fellow streamer, a streamstess. Is that how you say it? Streamstess. Yeah, she streams on Twitch and occasionally Facebook Live. You'll see her streaming. She plays games such as Minecraft. What's the homie one? Yeah, I forgot. Where you make your little family. Oh, Sims. Yeah, she's a big Sims streamer. Yeah, you can catch out some of her old streams. Also she plays WoW. She's a die-hard WoW girl. A little bit of Hearthstone, even though I haven't seen her play it in a while. But yeah, and Overwatch. So she's a Blizz Activision girl. She will be joining us today. So everybody, welcome in anime. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you for joining me there.
So anime. What you been up to? Your fans miss you.
My fans miss me. You're cute.
Yes, they miss you.
Oh crap. I can't remember how any of this stuff works anymore.
That happens.
Yeah.
That happens. But we're all learning. This is a learning stream. So
There we go.
be patient with us.
I remember now. Click the buttons. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Where did we leave off?
Resting.
Well, I have to say you're not eligible. Did you turn in all your other quests?
We have Prophecy of Valor. I've not done that yet.
No, your old ones, the ones we had yesterday.
Yeah, I don't have any. Some of those I think were alchemy and urban.
No, this one's just Azor Mistyle.
I don't have that yet.
Is
Or it
Night
might be.
Stalker cleanup is what I'm asking you don't have, and it says you're not eligible.
I'm getting to see that a lot of quests. That's how you got so far here.
I didn't do a lot of quests. I only did the same ones.
Mm. Where's your man Valorant?
It says he's to the south. That's north. South is this way.
So, anime, while I have you here, what are your thoughts on females in the gaming industry?
Oh, I think we're undervalued and solely looked at as meat, but
How can you say that? It's easier for a woman to be noticed than a man. Like
it's
you,
not even. It's not just that. It's if you look at it, anytime a female goes into any type of game, we're picked last in any group, and even if we're not picked last, it takes them forever to respect us. I sat up here and I saw this girl in Counter Strike just destroy, and I mean utterly destroy every dude in that group. And what did they do? They called her a bitch and left just because they couldn't kill her. She was like headshotting everybody. The same thing happens in Overwatch. Even though they like playing with female characters, they don't like it when females play the game. And it's unfortunate.
It is. Well, I mean, some of it's male pride, male ego. You know, a guy hates to lose, but if he's losing to a chick, he feels some type of way about it. But I personally think that's cool. No, but it does happen. Also, it's new to people to see women excel at what was mainly a guy thing. You know, not too many girls like to play video games, and now there's an uprising, and I'm happy for that because you know now they understand why you stay up so late or why you want to go play or why you want to game. They get it now. Or they just looked at it like you were corny or
And again, that is a another misconception. Most women did like to play games and wanted to, but we weren't allowed to. We were looked down upon if we did.
that's not true.
For me, example, my father gave me such shit because I wanted to play games. It's not what girls should do. So I never got a system. I couldn't do any of that until I could buy it for myself.
So what were you supposed to do in your leisurely time?
Play with dolls.
But there were several games for girls back then.
Mm-mm. Not necessarily. Everything was mainly um, advertised to boys, even Pokemon.
Yeah, they only had a boy avatar first. But Mario Kart had Princess Peach. What guy was going to play with Peach other
I
than?
know a lot of dudes that play with Peach.
Yeah, I have to wonder about that.
No, not because of any sexual thing. They just play with Peach because she had the faster car.
No,
If they were playing
it
Mario Kart, she
Toad,
was lighter.
Toad, Yoshi, Peach. Then you go to the middleweights, it's Mario, Luigi, and the other guy. You got your heavyweights, Wario.
And then
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
Bowser.
play Smash Brothers, like I know a lot of people that did, they ran into an issue where they needed somebody who's faster. Peach is fast.
But they also had arcade games for females as well. DDR, you know, smash hit in Asia. I mean, in Japan. They brought it here. It was even better, you know.
Uh-huh. And dudes took that over really fast because it was not comfortable for women to be in an arcade. You know how awkward it is to walk in and have everyone stare at you?
Well, that's like going into a comic book store and seeing a check. It's just rare. But it's easier as we get along now.
Oh, I agree. It's gotten a lot better, but it shouldn't have been this way in the first place.
I mean, to be honest, females didn't want to play. It was a very, very, very few, especially during the early days of gaming, like when Atari was out or Famicom.
Name the games that were put out for Atari when Atari first came out.
Um, what was that? Galaga. Simple games, you know.
Yeah. Um, my mom played Galaga, Pong, things like
But those
that.
also were in arcades as well. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And it was okay to play if you were like out on a date because you were only doing it so that the guy will have something to do. And
that's him showing you how to play too. You know,
mhm.
getting a little touch up. You know, for the butt cheek, accidentally bump a boob.
But you could never win. You'd always have to let them win.
That's insulting.
The truth is insulting?
You always had to let the guy win.
Yeah,
So if you were good at Miss Pac-Man, you would let the guy win.
you'd have to.
Okay. So you're not millennial. You're after the millennials. So
Male ego is a horrible, horrible thing.
so you were better than most guys. So you would let them win. So you didn't have to hear them whine and cry.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all hear this, males? Y'all ever played against anime? She lets you guys win. But I used to see a lot of girls play like Tekken, Street Fighter, Virtual Fighter, and Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was made for. They had a chicken there too for Sonya for girls.
Uh, the simple fact that you said that they had a tune for girls
They did.
shows
Who was
your
playing? Who
misconception. Most
who was
women
playing
I
with
know
Sonya?
didn't play with uh, the female characters.
Why not? So you didn't play with Chun Li? You gonna lie to me and say you didn't play with Chun Li?
I'm not talking about me.
Okay. Or Zaryu in June before she got her head ripped off, or who's the other lady? Nina and Anna.
I played with Nina and Anna. Those were my go-tos. I'm not talking about me. Of course, I played with Anna. Anna
Okay.
was my favorite.
So girls didn't play Crash Bandicoot either. Cause I remember that was a very hot, popular girls game, and Rayman.
They weren't marketed towards girls, which is my point.
Okay. Correct, they wasn't, but a lot of females played it. Not so many played Mario.
It's
I don't
just
get
like
it.
the stigma the Wii gets. You're not a real gamer if you play the Wii. The Wii
Not
is
true.
marketed towards women.
Yeah, yeah. You had a Wii, a Wii U. It's
Why do
just
you think the Wii has Ring Fit and Animal Crossing?
because some people like those games.
I think you're being purposely obtuse, but okay.
Obtuse. 3 weeks in a hole. I'm sorry, Shawshank Redemption. I understand it. It was just like, would you market to somebody that you don't think will play? That you're too busy on your line, two-way in boys, setting them up and all that. That
Setting them up?
yeah, you know how a girl two ways a guy back in the day.
No.
Yeah, it was a big thing back then. You call the girl that liked them and have her quiet, and then you ask the guy all these questions with her on the other line being quiet.
Why not just ask the question?
Yeah, they do, but they do it so she can hear. Sometimes it backfires, sometimes not.
No,
Couple things
no,
in
no, no.
there
I don't think you understand my question. Why do I need to sneak around? Why can't I just ask the guy?
because you're
Question.
afraid of rejection.
No, no, no. If they don't want to be with me, I would much rather them be upfront and say, I don't like you.
And put you in the mud and call you a smelly head.
Ew. You have no reason to call me names.
Yeah, it's a big thing. My
That
go-to
is
was
so the 50s.
no.
Yes, it
Actually,
is.
actually, it's late '80s, mid '80s. You know, trip you up. You know, call you big head. You know, and pick you up, and then next day, you know, we're going out for 2 weeks.
That's stupid.
The American way.
Oh, that's toxic behavior.
Mm. The boy didn't push you down. How would you know he liked you?
He could just open his mouth and say, "Oh, I like you."
Uh, he'd rather make a fortune teller or send a note.
That's avoidance behavior. And you can sit up here and just tell me the truth.
Hey, I ain't make the rules.
Those aren't the rules. And again, those are kids that were not raised by Gen Xers. Those are kids that were raised by boomers. There is a difference.
Are we killing crustaceans?
You have you been looting these things?
I'm gonna have two quests. Oh, we need crab meat and a compass. Cool. I gotta get a new hand. But yeah. Oh, a whole PlayStation with the not putting out more systems of the PS5. What is your thoughts on that?
Sound business strategy.
How?
Uh, when your supply doesn't equal your demand, you can charge more for your supply. And it becomes more coveted, so more people are going to jump on it when they are available.
Do you think this is done purposely?
Mm-hmm.
What if it backfires? What if people lose interest?
They're not going to.
I
People have
mean,
been,
Xbox is coming out with the new that's just really, they're coming out with the pass so you can stream games without having to buy them so much. So you can stream them straight to it, which is help a lot of people out because that was the main issue they were having with Xbox. So,
and PlayStation gives away 2 free games a month.
yeah, but they're old games, and you most likely you already beat them, like Red Redemption 2 or something of that nature.
It's to compensate for the people who can't afford any of them. They allow them to play them. So for the same reason, for the idea that
Really, you're
Xbox
just
is
leaving
putting
me?
out this pass, what?
You leaving me?
I wasn't leaving you.
Obviously, if you're all the way over here and I'm getting attacked by stuff,
You didn't say anything.
I shouldn't have to. You should pay attention. Heels. But I'm sorry to
Walk in
cut you
front of
off.
me then.
I did. No, I'm good. You could have shot me in the heel, but that's okay. I'm a pilot and I can heal myself. Voila! But yeah, I just think that lame. I understand the first month or two, but we're talking 6 and 7 months, and you're still doing this crap. Do you want people to play your game? But I think it's because they have a lack of titles.
I think it's because the PlayStation 4 can still play all the games that they're putting out.
Correct. You know what I'm saying? They also raised the price of them. So, yeah. Why not finish out your old inventory of PlayStation 4s? But yeah, I find that funny. I'm like, dude, the shows should be stopped now. But I see a lot of the GameStops are going out of business. I,
Yeah,
I,
GameStops are shit.
I'm just saying, I thought they would flourish in a pandemic.
No,
Why? All you literally have time to do is to play video games and eat and not too much other stuff you can do.
Okay, I'm going the wrong way.
Oh, I just think that it's a little bit iffy.
I agree. I mean, they've always been iffy. It's Sony.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm carrying any of those anyway. What do we need these for?
I need them for a class.
Okay, I must don't have that class case. Dude, stop hitting me. God is taking forever to kill him. But yeah. Oh, wow. I also have you, you know. I like to have female, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of things that I like to talk about, some of them mostly are female issues. So, the a soccer girl quitting the tennis match. What are your thoughts on that? And mental health in the sports industry?
Mental health in sports is very undervalued. We make people who are just, in the end of the day, people do something we as individuals wouldn't want to do ourselves. Especially people who are highly competitive.
But the
Please.
flip side to that is they're growing the sport. So, by them talking to you and writing about it and talking about it on the sports shows, that brings notoriety to the sport that you're currently playing.
And that's cool, and I respect that. But you have to also respect that a person can just be tired and allow that person to be tired. Because in the end of the day, we're all human.
But you wasn't tired when you were getting paid all that money. And you wouldn't get that majority of the money if your sport isn't putting the limelight. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, it takes a few minutes to talk to people afterwards. Now, if you need to get yourself together before you do it, it's understandable.
But they don't let you even do that.
Most of them do.
And then if especially and I'm sorry, but especially for women in sports, we always have to watch our mouths. We have to watch how we're perceived. We can't seem frustrated. We can't seem angry. We can't seem overly emotional because all of that is going to come back to bite us. One way or another, it's going to be, oh, she was just so emotional. This is why women shouldn't do X, Y, and Z because they can't handle it. But if a man is pissed off because he lost the game, he can just be pissed off. You've seen it with Serena Williams and throwing her tennis racket. Men have done 10 times worse, but because she tossed her tennis racket because she was frustrated, she got fined and kicked out. Come on now. Name a man that would have had to deal with that for doing the exact same thing.
John McEnroe.
What did he do?
He was racket and talked a lot of smack. And they used to find him.
He ran his mouth up, right? She didn't
Yeah.
say anything. She just threw down her racket and didn't even really toss it. She just a little too hard.
I think women athletes have come a long way. but women athletics has come a long way.
And that can be true.
But some of it is boring. Because when you see a woman, you don't see a woman that way. Our minds have not been trained to see you as
People?
no, that's not it. It's different from an athlete than a person. When you see a woman, you think finesse, not burly, not overly muscles, not like my girl Clarissa, who won her fight the other night. I get it, and that's why the NBA, WNBA has the issue that they don't get paid. But I'm like, how do you draw males to watch your sport if you were the running the WNBA?
How
Because
about you just stop putting the W in front of it?
but you already have an NBA product, so you have to distinguish it from the NBA product because the
But I mean,
NBA
if it
players
was
are not
never a
playing.
difference in the first place,
But there clearly is one's a men's league, one's a women's league. So what you call the NBA one, NBA two?
yep.
Far ahead, almost a half a level.
I just don't understand why it matters.
It doesn't, but it does. You're selling a product. You need the males to watch your sport. Females don't overly support it. Still, your diehard old school chicks that won't do it.
But even if we set up here and catered to what men wanted to see
Well,
in sports, they still wouldn't get the advertisement that they need or the support that they need. Look at the football league where women were running around half naked with all that male attention and men still didn't support it.
okay, what could you advertise in a women's basketball game or women's football game that would a man would buy?
Beer.
They already get that on the male one. What else?
I
And
mean, you're
Does
saying it like it
Budweiser?
has to be different. Why can't you just advertise the same shit?
Okay, so Budweiser is gonna give you guys a lot of advertising money.
Viagra.
They do that on the male ones too.
And you would get 10 times more if you did it on the female one. But they
Why?
only advertise female things during female sports.
That's what I'm saying. Know your viewer base. Who watches the most WNBA games?
At the moment, neither one. You mean say Henry had to feed him?
Because you don't know, that is future gamer Hunter. I know. I know. I know. That's gonna be my next topic. Parenting, mommy, and gaming. And go.
Should be just be parenting and gaming. But
Yeah, it's mommy and gaming. Because most dads will just, hey, yo, here. I gotta go stream. Here.
and you
Can I
just
do
see how
this?
negative and toxic that relationship is.
How?
It
What?
okay. It annoys me that when men watch their own children, they consider it babysitting and not parenting.
That's your job as a nurturer. He is to
Okay,
hunt,
first of
gather,
all,
feed. That's his role. Since the dawn of time, hunt, gather, make sure you all of y'all eat.
then that means that women should never have to work.
True. Some most situations they don't want to, but the woman sees that as a form of control and chooses to work. That's why
We should never have to
the
be
whole women's
afraid
music.
of losing control over our lives either.
Well, it doesn't work like that now. Most men don't
And
have a problem if you stay at
that's the
home,
whole thing.
but most
It's
women
like if
choose
we
to work.
stay at home, no pause. If we stay at home and don't work, we're looked down upon as we are dependent on our men to take care of us. If we work, we're looked down upon as we're not taking care of our child. So women can't win in this aspect. If we want to play video games, then we're also negligent mothers.
Well,
But men can sit around and do absolutely nothing with their child and still be considered the greatest dad in the world just because they did one thing with their kid.
okay, in the early years, it really is the mother's job to nurture. Now, the man can't be there, but all what the child is going to need, male or female, is going to come from the mother until a certain age. Then the father plays a more predominant role. That's just the way it is. You're by nature going to be more sensitive to his needs and wants than most men are, unless they're of the feminine nature. Most men are like, okay, why are you crying? And then, okay, here, go to your mother. Or you are more sensitive, you're more the carer. That's your role. You also produce the milk. So the bond is going to be strong there for the first 2 years, maybe a year and a half. Depends on the child. After that, the father steps up in his role. He has to start being the disciplinarian as well as the mother. He's going to do more active with the child. It's a lot easier. The child is less dependent upon the mother. Right now, he's totally dependent on you. You have his food. In actuality, I know most mothers don't breastfeed, but that's a big staple right there. And he needs your nurturing and understanding. And you're his first teacher. This is just where it's been since the dawn of time. It sounds like to me you want to throw a monkey wrench in that. Now, as for women staying home and working, that's not always the truth. Sometimes the household dictates that. If you have to stay home and that saves us more money than me paying $600 in daycare or $400 a week in daycare, and you're only bringing in 600 every week, what's the point of it? For extra $200, extra 400 every 2 weeks? But some women can't stand in the house; they don't want to. There's nothing wrong with that because you will go crazy taking care of a child, the house, and not socializing as much. And I understand that. So that's why men give you the option to do so.
As
But
much, most women don't get to socialize at all.
that's not true. You just don't hang around other mothers.
No, you're talking about in the idealistic suburban area. When you're
Yeah,
in the city, it
if you're
doesn't
in
work
a
that way.
if you're in a suburb area, and most likely if it's a young or old, you should know that before you move there. If it's a lot of young couples, they're gonna have young kids. If not, then you move into a
Not
world where
now, because a lot of young couples don't want to have children.
I understand why. I mean, I get it. That's their choice. I mean, when you give children, you do have to sacrifice a lot. Your budget, your bodies, your time, your freedom. All that's gone. At least for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine, and that's okay. But it seems like to me, a mother wants to be pat on the back a lot more now. Some of us is just like a man. You shouldn't be patted on the back for providing for your family. That's the shit you got to do. You don't need a round of applause. Father's Day is cool. Mother's Day is cool. You celebrate those days. But it's like everybody wants to grandstand. Everybody got to be on social media. Everybody got to, oh, I did this. Beat my chest. I mean, some of this shit is just basic shit. You should be doing
Oh,
anyway.
I agree. I don't believe everything needs to be a big display.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that some of it is just like ordinary shit. This is everyday crap. Do
Yeah.
what you got to do for your kids.
Yeah.
And
But,
oh well, but then you have to realize that
hell,
um,
I get it.
Sometimes people don't get that, oh, you did a good job, oh, you're doing what you're supposed to do, awesome. And then moms need it more because postpartum depression is one of those things that women don't even know they have when they have it. They'll think that they're fine, they'll think everything's going great, and then all of a sudden they realize that they don't have a connection with their own child. They don't feel bonded with them anymore. They just, this is just another being, another thing that I have to take care of in my life. And that with a screaming, crying baby that nothing you do seems to help makes depression 10 times worse. I always wonder how women dealt with that. It's just, it's one of those things. Like, how do you not know that you're depressed? Because it doesn't show up like regular depression does. It shows up as rage. It shows up as um like just out of nowhere anger, and you don't understand why you're angry. You don't understand why you feel hopeless. You don't feel understand why you're not as happy as you think you should be because you're a mom and you created a life. It's one of those, why is this happening to me? But I don't have a chance to figure it out because I have a life relying on me. It's something a man would never have to understand because they don't ever have to deal with it. If there's something that's going on normally with guys, they can figure it out pretty easily if they want to. You can figure out, like, oh, I'm not feeling as virile. It's probably my testosterone levels. It's probably this. It's probably that. But
So you think it's a female's estrogen level? What causes this?
it's a hormone imbalance which causes postpartum depression.
Okay, and they can't correct this,
They can, but you have to know what's happening first.
and you can't tell that you are a little off.
Not most women don't know. They don't know that they're off just because um you're upset doesn't necessarily mean it's postpartum. It could just
Okay.
be that you have a legitimate reason to be angry.
So when you do the post op with the doctor and all that, they don't talk to you about this. That this could
They will.
happen.
They talk to you about it. They can tell you what can happen, but what I'm saying is it's different in every person. It doesn't manifest right after you have your child all the time. You can be done with all your post-op visits and it just pop up 5, 6 months down the road. It can happen anytime within the first year of having your child. And you don't get follow-ups for the whole year. You get follow-ups for the first 3 months, maybe,
But
depending
don't
on
you
what
have
you're
your own
getting.
personal doctor, like your regular general doctor?
How
They
often do
should
you
do it.
see your regular doctor?
I don't know. After a baby, I would assume you would go like every 4 to 5 months. Just to make sure, you know what I'm saying, you're okay. Especially if
No,
this is a known cause that you have to be on a search for.
but they don't. Your insurance doesn't allow for that. Your primary
Okay.
care physician is not trained to diagnose postpartum depression, and you can't go see your gynecologist for just shits and giggles. You have to have a reason. And like I said, your OB is only your OB after for 3 months after you have your baby, and that's if you have complications. No complications, perfect C-section, perfect vaginal delivery, 3 months max.
I'm going to ask you about that. Do you think that the hospitals are pushing more for the C sections than natural vaginal birth? Because I hear a lot of girls tell me that they'll go right to that, even like the baby's been in too long. They'll want to just cut her out instead of just letting it come natural.
Um, a lot of the newer doctors, yeah, because that's what they know. That's what's taught. Is it lowers morbidity rates? It lowers all the dangers that come with vaginal births, especially if they're hard. It's But you also run into the risk that you can choose. Like most women don't are supposed to have a birth plan and then they don't do it, or they don't go to all their appointments. So it's just like one of those things because you can't have so like you can have a doula or you can have a doctor. You can't have both. When you should have the option to have both. You should be able to start off with a doula, and if things go wrong, have a doctor that can step in without you having to pay out of pocket for either one. But you don't have that option a lot of the times. And both of them are expensive. It costs upwards of $200,000 sometimes to have a baby in this country.
Right.
And other countries are looking at it like, why are you charging people to have babies?
But I also think that women allow a lot of this to go on. Like, instead of fighting for certain rights, you should solidify those rights. Like, birth should be free, female products should be free.
First, we
That
have to be able to control our own bodies, sweetheart.
I understand that, but it seems like you pick your wrong battles first. You should start with something such as that. Like, women shouldn't have to pay so much for childcare and birth and all that, and then
So
branch out. But it seems like they're the ones who are running stuff are more entwined with
I need you to understand the
wanting to be
battle
vice
that we're
presidents
fighting.
or of wanting to be governors or first time defense secretaries. It's like they don't care about the natural order of the average woman.
That's not true. You have to understand the battle that we're fighting on each level. So, yeah, you have women that are fighting for our right to
Be equal with a
our
man.
reproductive rights, saying that a man shouldn't be able to tell me that I have to have a baby. And then you have the ones that are looking out for our rights to um, our right to have a job and vote and be elected official and all this other stuff. But every time women try to fight for specific things that we need, it's always like, well, why do you care about this? You should care about X, Y, and Z because this is more important. And anytime we let up on any front, they try to take back the rights that we just got, i.e., this whole um, attack on Roe v. Wade. We got Roe v. Wade. Now that we're trying to get something else, they're attacking that to pull our focus back. So everybody has to stand behind and fight against this. And it shouldn't be that hard. Like, you, people before you showed you that it was wrong, but your answer is, I don't care. I'm going to take away this right anyway. Come on
Oh,
now.
did you finish the crab meat one?
Yeah.
Oh, I still need one more.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Because your child's yelling at me. Why are you yelling at me?
Because you're not talking to me, not playing with me.
Uh-uh. Oh, no, that's not why you're yelling at me.
I got a poopy diaper.
Yeah.
Poops this.
Apple, go.
Yeah.
So, like, oh, as I was saying, just when women are starting to, like, fight for the financial equality, and no one's they started attacking Roe v. Wade. So now everybody who was trying to fight for equal pay because we still don't have true equal pay, has to go and fight for us to be able to have control over our bodies. Because they're not only with this whole attack on Roe v. Wade now, they're not only saying that, oh, you can't have abortions in general, like they're saying we can't have them at all. Doesn't matter if it's for a medical reason. Doesn't matter if it's incest or rape. And if you are going down that route, it's like, so what you're saying is that it doesn't matter if I die. You don't really care about life, what you care about is control. Because there's some women who can't have children, and if they do, they'll die. Are you going to make that woman have a baby?
I would hope not.
But they will. The the Bible the Bible Belt states now, regardless of the reason, you have to have your child. If you are 6 weeks pregnant, which is about when you find out that you're actually pregnant, is after 6 weeks, you cannot have an abortion. Or you just can't have premarital sex. And if you choose not to have premarital sex, then you run the risk of being raped. And if you're raped and that person gets you pregnant, then they still have all rights to that baby. And it's sad that we have to think about all of these things, but as women, we do. Wow. What are the big issues that men have to deal with? Not, not bringing race into it, but just men in general.
Mm. You never think about all this, you know.
Because you don't have to.
No, I'm just saying in general. We get it that it's hard to be a woman, but if somebody rapes a woman, they should have a choice in whether they want to keep that or not. And I understand that, you know. But to the other side of it, a lot of women use it as a contraceptive. So they'll be reckless and just like, fuck it, I can get rid of it.
You can only have 3 of those before your reproductive organs start to go bad.
Not good.
So I don't know why men think that women just use abortion as birth control.
I'm just saying. You know, Hennessy and some Plan B, good.
So now you're saying Plan B is wrong.
No, I mean at least it won't get to the step that what you're talking about. All I'm saying is, a lot of people, male and female, don't think about anything. They just want to do, and then when shit hit the fan, everybody's panicking. I mean, shit happens, but unless it's one of those extreme cases, some of this shouldn't be happening. The rate that would it happens.
So there is a real life event that happened. This woman was raped by a guy that took her home from the club. They were at a business dinner. They took a cab. They shared a cab. He dropped her off at her house first, and then the cab took him home. He then took his car, drove to her house, and raped her, brutally raped her. She went to court, filed charges. He denied all the events. Because she was drinking, he got away with it. And not drinking heavily. She had one glass of wine.
Are we getting these other questions?
Yes. She got one glass of wine, and because she drank that glass of wine, um, the judge said that she could not have possibly known what was going on, so she cannot be a reliable witness. She ended up being pregnant, getting pregnant from this rape. She kept the baby. The guy came after the guy denied he had raped her over and over again. That it wasn't him, he didn't do it, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, you might as well just say it was consensual. It would sound better. And let's say it didn't happen at all.
He said he wasn't the one that did it. So she decided to keep the baby. The baby's DNA would prove that it was him that had raped her. Right? He tried to kill her. Tried to break into her house and end her life while she was pregnant. She got away and then moved out of state because the police did not believe he tried to hurt her. No matter what she did, like, they just would not believe that this was happening. And you know, once you take a man to court one time for something, if you keep saying that he's doing something to you, it makes them believe you less. Not more, less.
Yeah, I don't think people use their
common sense.
Yeah, not at all.
They do not.
Or they do it as well. So.
And then after that, she had the baby. She moved out of state. He tried to say that he had rights to that child and that he should be able to take care of her and see her. Would you let somebody that you knew rape a woman babysit your daughter?
If it was me and I was a father, I would have did a lot of shit different. I'd have shot that motherfucker. Wouldn't have killed him, but he'd wish he was dead. Yeah, I don't like the sexual crimes. I mean, who do that shit? I find
it. Yeah. Honestly, it's just one of those things. It is unfortunately a gray area of the law where it should not be gray at all.
Well, to the kind of side of that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of white women fainted lies on black men and got a lot of black men hung. So on that, with the lying about it, I get that. Why you be hesitant. But certain shit, no. Because a woman, you give the wrong woman that type of power, you know, some of them who don't get their way will use it for wrong. And I feel as though they should be punished harshly so they will stop doing that. So, I want to mess with a black guy, but as soon as I do, oh no, he raped me. And that happened a lot. And
I want to know how you would know that someone had raped a person.
I mean, most people can tell how you are, how you feel. Some people can know if you just didn't know, or if you was drugged or something too. It's a vibe. Me
So, do you
personally,
believe coercion is a form of rape?
to an extent, yes, because you can leave the situation, but if he's blocking your way and not letting you leave, then no. But in theory, you should be able to leave. And like if you're not feeling it and you like, okay, this is going where I don't want it to go, you should be able to leave. But I think some women just give in because they're like, well, I'm out here, I don't have no way back home, or I gotta tell my mom I snuck out, or scared or something, or
Um,
to have them not brutally rape her.
yeah, that's basically why a lot of women just give in. It's because they're afraid that the situation is going to escalate to violence.
And you got prepared in this day and age.
And it's like, what do you do?
Gun, gun, knife, taser. One, learn how to use it.
No, because if you stab somebody, you're going to jail.
Would you rather go to jail? Or would you rather have your peace? You gotta kill him. A good stab will make a motherfucker think about it.
That is true, but again, you're going to go to jail.
Not necessarily. Also depends on if you got a decent lawyer.
It's assault, honey.
It is, but I assaulted this man to stop him from doing what he didn't listen. And
You
that's your
can't
word against
prove
his.
intent.
I understand that it's your word against his, and I get that. But something made me stab him.
Yep, and they don't care what it was. You stab them, and you weren't physically injured.
Okay, it's the land of what can you live with and what can you not live with. A female stabbing you probably get probation unless you kill him. Then even then you wouldn't do more than 5 or 6 years. Would you be good with that, or being brutally raped and traumatized for the rest of your life? Worst case
Why do we
scenario,
have to choose?
because this is the world we live in, and some choices are hard. You made the choice when you decided to go out with this man. If not go out with, then you walk the street by yourself.
So women aren't allowed to walk down the street by themselves.
At certain times, at a certain point in the day, I wouldn't.
No, there are women that are pulled in and raped during midday.
Yeah, I don't know how that happens, but
It happens every day.
it's either what is your life, what is your sexuality mean to you? Do you want to protect it? Then you should have somebody with you. If you're going for a jog, have a jogging buddy.
Do you, as a man, have to have a jogging buddy?
No, but also me as a man can probably defend myself to a better degree than you can. And men get robbed too. They just don't get sexually assaulted.
So if you were being robbed, would you
Yeah,
stab a person?
yes, in a heartbeat. If I had a knife and I could get to him, or if he got me from behind and I got a knife in my pocket, I'll stab him. Now, if he has a gun in my head, I wouldn't risk it because it's
Right.
only stuff.
So, but you can also prove it, right?
No, you can't.
Because he has your stuff.
Yeah,
It's material. Other people can see it.
Most men don't keep that shit. They throw that shit away after they rob you. They leave it right at the scene. Only one is the cash or jewelry.
Jewelry can be sourced back to you.
Yeah, only stupid ones, but there's a lot of stupid criminals. I get what you're saying that overall mothers should raise their boys and fathers should raise their children not to do that. But you can't control how your child's going to be. That's like saying you want them to go to school and college and they don't. They got their own path. Now you can guide it to the best of your ability. I could tell my son 1,000 times he shouldn't do this. But if I'm not there and it's only him, he can still do that. So I'm telling my daughter to be prepared for that. I can't like when you teach them to drive, you can't teach them that other people on the road are going to drive correctly. Most people don't. They cut you off. They speed through lanes. I can only show you the right way to go. That's all I'm trying to say. I can show him. I can like, yo, don't do this. You don't need to do that. You shouldn't never
We
want
should
to do
also
that.
correct the legal system that damns women for being assaulted.
It doesn't, but it's, as I said, a lot of them use it to further their plans. Okay, you break up with a guy, and this guy don't want you no more. What's the first thing I hear a lot of Caucasians and black women say? I'll call police, and they're automatically going to think that you hit me. So the cop already going to believe you off the break. In most situations, all of them, except for the people townsies that know each other, they probably let you get away with it. But other than that, most people are going to believe that. I've seen it happen. They're going to say, "Oh, sir, you got to go." No matter if you hit me first and you started it, they're going to make me leave the premises and not come back, even if she don't put a restraining order on them. So, not saying that the system is against you. It's not. It's just you bad females abuse it. Females say quick, yeah, I call them and say you hit me. Do it, and all that. That's a threat. You know what I'm saying? You threatening to ruin this person's life. Even if it isn't true, he gotta prove all that. So that means he gotta go to anger management. He gotta do a whole bunch of shit just off of your word. And no consequence comes of it of you lying. That's the whole point. And it's a lot of that happens. So you can only see one side of the spectrum. You have to see both sides of it.
Right, but you're only seeing the side that benefits you as well.
No, I'm just saying that's the reason why you say y'all not seen in such high hope. That's the reason why.
My whole thing is we shouldn't be viewed as liars from
Then
off
that's
break.
then tell the ones to stop lying then.
It's just the
And maybe
same
their
way
mother
you
should raise them better or their father should raise them not to lie on men. Not
exactly the
saying
same way that you say that that should happen with men. It's the same way it should happen with women. I'm not saying that it shouldn't. I'm saying that if women are lying about this, there needs to be consequences. There needs to be jail time if you lie about it. And in
it's a
some states,
slippery
there
slope.
are. If they find out that the man didn't actually do the crime, where are you?
You left me, I had to kill something.
All right. If they find out that the woman lied, she will go to prison, or and she has to pay restitution to the man.
But a lot of it is predated. And like I say, with a lot of systems in this country, they don't update them to fit the times. They keep them the way they are. A lot of those things, the bills and laws and all that from 1780 and 1690, that shit need to be updated and changed.
Hmm.
It was a foundation, but the world has changed in 300 to 400 years, or the country has, and that should be updated as well.
I agree.
But yet it seems like it never is, and I'm like, this is the reason I'm talking about. I feel on a lot of issues. That's the way that is. But on women's issues, I get it, but it's a double-edged sword. You can't say, "Oh, raise your sons not to take it." I could do everything in my world that he not, and it could just be in him. And that's not a failure on me or the other fathers. Just the way it is. Or some men don't know how to deal with a mother who nags and or a father who bitches, and they're just not used to it. And that's just the way society is.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate.
Hmm.
What?
I was just, you gave me a lot to digest. You know, I always thought the females had it pretty easy. Outside of a few things, not being slavery time, and you know,
Honestly, I wish you were right about it. I wish that things were much easier. But
I mean, it's better than it was in 1920, but still a long way to go. And I think that's because they don't focus as a women's group on certain shit getting done. They're trying to be all over the place.
do you remember you how black people feel about Tulsa,
Yeah,
where every time we try to have something, they burn it down?
yeah.
It's the same thing with women's groups. Like, if you look at a lot of them, it was they exist. Cool. Like I was explaining to you the other day, where the Supreme Court building is used to be um, the women's suffrage group, where they would come and have meetings and discuss everything and band together. But it's just like how they turned feminism into a dirty word.
It's not.
Women know it's not. But
Most men
if
do
you say
too.
feminism to some guys, they say, "Oh, you hate men," and it's not that.
No, no. It's like they see it as you think that you're equal to a man, and that can't happen. And the
But
reason why I say
women
that is
don't want to
because
be equal to a man. What we're saying is we should be treated less than just because we have ovaries. That's like you saying that. That's like when people say that they're better just because they're white. You're saying you deserve to be treated this way because you have a penis.
no, it's just. Do you believe men have emotions?
Yes,
Do you think our emotion is mess with us more than they do with women?
about the same. I know men can be just as emotional as women.
Yeah, some can.
It's just how we exert our emotions are different. Men tend to punch things while women tend to cry. It's the same emotion, we just deal with it differently.
So what you're telling me is it's not the fact that you want to be equal; it's the fact that you just want to know that you can do anything a man can do.
Yes, we don't want to be told that. Don't tell me no just because again, I have female parts. If that's truly the only difference between me and you, why should that stop me from doing what I want to do?
Hmm, interesting.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm waiting on you.
Precious things. We need the nautical map east. So this is east. But yeah, it's those things. It's the basic things over and over again that we have to explain. Like, I'm a woman, but I can still be a CEO. I can run my own company. I can have a child and work. I can do. I can provide for myself. I don't have to remarry if my husband dies. I don't have to do. Hi, I know. You're okay. You're okay. I don't need somebody to um if I want to change out my front door, I should be able to do it by myself. Do all women want to? No, but not all men want to do housework either. But women get shamed for the ones that want to do it. Oh, there are women that like to work with their hands. Can she do it without people being judgy? No. Why are you trying to be so manly? I'm not trying to be manly. I just like working with my hands. It's those things. Like, am I wrong for liking to build things?
You guys are enjoying the female perspective from anime today. She's giving me a lot to think about, you know. It's pretty good
You have
points.
water?
Let's see. Oh, I got bread.
I have plenty of bread. I just need water.
Yeah.
I have to go back and get water.
Uh-huh.
Do you have cookies gumbo?
Yeah, you gave me some.
I'll give you mine because I don't need it. Because it only gives you. Oh, wait, no, it gives you spirit. So I need that.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. What's up, buddy?
Say mommy's gaming instead of loving me.
But that is not a reason to yell at me at all. No. Uh-uh. No, because you're fine. You're just being a brat.
See, I got it from mommy.
First of all, sir, Hunter, yeah, I know you're sleepy. I tried to put you down, but you didn't want to go to sleep. So now you're going to sit here with me.
Oh,
No.
See?
Yeah, we're so sleepies. We're gonna stay up a little bit longer. Hi. Hi.
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay, I'm almost to you.
Okay. Oh, no, okay. So, some wild news. What do you think of the TBC Classic?
Um, I love this expansion, so it's
When
cool.
you say you love it, explain why you love it.
It gives you like the you don't have to struggle as much to level like you did in vanilla, but you still get all the socialization and the positive aspects. The storyline is pretty good once you finally get into it. It's just one of those things where you either like it or you don't. Anything past Lynch King kind of gets very I don't need you, you're not my friend. And I hated that part of WoW. The I don't need comrades part. But I think WoW also grew up with the people. So that started to play it. So they knew that it would be harder and harder for people to stay in groups and match up like they needed to. So they made it easier for people to do that. And I'm like, I get it. That's cool and whatever. But come on now. There has to be more than one way to play the game. Woo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why you're doing this to
Mm. Say, cause I'm Hunter and I'm a star. I'm a star, baby. Oh, poor hun dog.
Hold on, I'm gonna get the crying.
You want to take an intermission? So nice to have enemy join us. Because, yeah,
Hunter, Hunter.
I know. You're listening to the sounds of Hunter, the center of attention. He has great showmanship. Hunter needs his mom.
You're yelling. Stop. No. Why are we yelling?
Hmm.
Why are we yelling?
Yeah,
No, it's not.
yeah. So, anime's dealing with the number one B boy's son. You know, something. Yes. But yeah, the interaction is cool. Yeah, anime plans on streaming a lot more too. It's see as you can see, it's difficult. You know, you got a whole little life there and work. So you know, try to keep it together. You know, spend a little time streaming, talking. You know, getting their views on the world, schooling me. Hmm. But yeah. But my thoughts on Burning Crusade is it feels a lot more faster than Classic, even though it's about the same pace. I don't know. Classic just, I guess, because it was 60 levels, it just seems so overwhelming. And I get why a teenager or adolescent teen will play it so much because that's all you have time to do. Like I still have not gotten a tune from 1 to 60. It just takes so much time. It's like, yeah. So I get why retail they sped it up. You know, you can run dungeon run. Like one day you can do 20 levels if you do like 8 hours. So I understand why I went from this type of play to more because the ones who were younger grew up. So the 15-year-olds became 20-year-olds, 11-year-olds became 16-year-olds, and time was iffy. But I'm cool with it. But it's a good expansion. It sucks that you have to level from 1 to 60. I thought new tunes would be like 58, like they do Death Knights. But I get it. You know, a whole bunch of people will just make the same tune over and over again without leveling. And they're trying to avoid that. Even though you could put like two account. But what do I know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I had muted you.
Okay, did you hear the new game that's coming out that's supposed to be the new WoW? You're being hit.
Okay.
Turn around.
Oh, I couldn't see. I mean, you just sitting there.
Well, I had to drink.
There we go. I don't know what I hit, but I messed up something.
What was I saying? Yeah. So
Okay, that was cool.
yeah. Oh, I know. I'm walking though.
A bottle of water.
Huh? Oh, thank
You
you.
want it?
I do. Give me a second. I'm trying not to hurt our kid. Okay. So it's supposed to be here somewhere.
Mm.
The
Oh, here goes the map right here.
Where?
Over here.
Okay.
Is the other one the compass here too?
Yeah, it's supposed both of them are supposed to be here. The compass might be on one of those things. The only thing that I appreciate that they put into Lynch King was the tracking the quest thing on the maps.
I'm attacked by multiple people.
Yeah, I'm here. Oh my God, you pulled them behind me. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You see the compass drop yet?
No. No, because you're not going to sit here and cry for no reason just because you're tired.
Whoa. Some of these quests are just too far apart. Apple, go lay down. Cause you're only up because you see me up. Go lay down. Yeah, I'm sorry. Y'all ain't help me hit anime and all that. She is dealing with a hunter. The hunter's being extra fussy. She's gassy. He made his first streaming debut. Well, we will be in the streaming in a little bit because yeah, I have animals I have to take care of, and my son needs playtime because obviously he is not happy over there with the mommies. But we shall be back tomorrow. I'll see if anime wants to come back on again. She's up for it. We do a short stream. All of them are technically short. I'm used to streaming 4 or 5 hours, but I do not have time like I used to. We'll get back to it. But I hope you guys have been enlightened by today's topic on the females and the struggles and buses of the females, because some of that I didn't even know. And we have more topics. We're gamers at heart, so our main conversations are games and movies. She's not a movie buff as I am, but she's more of a animaniac. Yeah, she loves her anime. Speaking of that, we're going to both watch an anime and we're going to discuss it. We're going to pick one and watch it. So she gets to pick one she wants, and I'm going to pick one I want, and then we're going to have a discussion on it. You guys will like that? I think that would be awesome. But yeah, I got a lot of content coming. So like, subscribe, follow so you can get the updates and alerts. Also, if you want to, go to check out her anime at twitchtv.com. And you can follow her there. And she also streams here and there. So there you go. Mm-hmm. But until then, be happy, be safe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.